Although there's many ways to make a robot and many things you can make them out of. When I work with my high school students to build robots, I have them use a kit that's made by the people that make Legos. You might have played with Legos before, but they also make some robot kits. And in that robot kit, you have parts like this. Let me hold it up to the camera for you. Or like this. I'll hold this one up to the camera for you. Or maybe like this. Or maybe like this. So you take all of these parts and you assemble them so the robot looks like the way you want it. Maybe you want it to move like a car would, and so you might put some wheels on it. You get a couple of different wheels here that you could put on your robot. Or maybe you want it to drive like a tank, and you put these things around all the wheels so that they can, move over bumpy surfaces. So it depends on what you want your robot to do, but you put all the parts together. Then you attach some things like motors. This is a motor that they use. You can make this motor, it turns this red part around either slow or fast. And say, for example, you have that red part hooked up to one of your wheels, you can make the robot go front or back. You also have to attach some things that let the robot tell what's going on around it. Like maybe you don't want it to bump into a wall, or maybe you want it to look for something and stop when it gets there. So we put sensors on our robots. Here's a sensor. It kind of looks like a pair of eyes, doesn't it? But it isn't really eyes. What this does is it sends out sound signals that you can't hear, kind of like a bat or a dolphin would do, that bounce off of objects and bounce back to the robot so it can tell how far away it is. My high school students use these to tell when they're getting close to a wall so they can stop or turn instead of hitting it. You could also have a sensor like this. You can see right here, it looks like little light bulbs in the sensor. These can shine light that reflect back, and it can tell is whatever is right next to this sensor. What color is it? Because maybe you're looking for a particular square on a tic-tac-toe board, or maybe you're trying to follow a line that you've taped onto the floor, so it checks to see if it's over the tape or if it's just over the floor tiles that don't have tape on it. So you put all of those on your robot. You have to have a brain, a little computer for your robot. This is what the Lego computer robot brain looks like. So let me hold it up here. It's got places on the end that you can plug in wires that connect to your motors or your sensors. And you can also plug it into your computer so that when you write your programs, you can get those programs loaded up right here on this little robot computer so it can make everything go. Here's a little booklet that sometimes my students use when they're building a robot. It's got a picture of how you might put together the pieces to make it look like, well, this one looks kind of like a little car, doesn't it? But it's got a little lifter device right here so it can pick up pieces. And it gives instructions in here on what to put together, where to plug things in, what to do next, and so on. So there's a lot of help depending on what type of robot you want to build. There's an awful lot of help for how to build it. Lego is one way to do it, and that's what I do with my high school students. Bye-bye now.